Hello and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Adventures, where last time we began our adventures, as it were, in this game, playing as, excuse me, let me check, I got a comment in the last episode, I want to make sure I actually pronounce this correctly this time. Ryunosuke Naruhodo is, I believe, the correct pronunciation. Thank you for the comments to correct my mistakes. Ryunosuke Naruhodo is who we are playing as, and we got to a really awesome start. It's so great to be back in the world of Ace Attorney. I can't wait to keep playing, so let's not waste any time and keep going on our quest to prove our innocence in the first case of the game. November 22nd, 11:38 a.m., Supreme Court of Judicature, Defendant's Antechamber 5. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. Okay. That's, one way to phrase the sentence, but okay. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight. Before I knew it, you'd started finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. I would sure hope so, given the nature of this game. Forget it, it's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see Oh, you sweet summer child. You don't know what game franchise you're a part of, do you? See, Kazuma also knows what game franchise he's a part of, and he's like, oh, yeah, give it another case to see how well that turns out. Anyway, it looks like we've exposed your phantom lady at last. Miss Giselle Britt, a student from Great Britain, is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Why would anyone believe me? Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of. Yes, I can see that. Yes, my insane powers of observation. I was able to notice that there was another human being in the room. Most people don't notice stuff like that, you see? It's okay. I can see that. So, about this young gentlewoman, thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Through a magical trapdoor in the floor. That's a joke, but you know. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed there was a gun lying on the floor. When I went to pick it up, the Big Bang happened. I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet, and he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective. He apprehended the suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. The professor dude? And what, I don't know her name, I'm trying to think, Kamatrusa? See, I know, in case you're wondering why I said that, I don't think her name's actually gonna be that, but I took the first letters of K, Maya, and Trucy's names to form Kamatrusa. You may clap at any time now. Professor Mikotaba! Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so that I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy, our justice system even more so, which is why I firmly believe that we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour to Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. I hope they don't pull an apologist and make him the killer. He's so cool. He's such a bro. He's like a heart of gold. He's such a pal. That was a voice crack. He's loyal to the last straw. Please don't do an apologist and make him the killer. My heart can't take that. What? What are you saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then, looks like it all comes down to you, young man. Don't you both be looking at me. What are you doing? To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence and uncover what really took place at that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Well, they're both, alright, let's use our thinky brains here, Ryunosuke. Let's see. They're both professors at the same university. I wonder if they knew each other. Big brain plays. Yes, I did. He was literally right next to my classroom. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMI. And it was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. The gentlewoman who's involved in our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck! Thank you! Now then. I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need.
Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama.
If she gets accused of murder, because she's obviously going to be the assistant of the games, if she gets accused of murder even once, I'm flipping a table. Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow. Before those old fossils know what's hit them.
Kazuma.
What?
Thank you, really.
What for?
Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already been found guilty by now.
Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend.
Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. I gotta admit, it's really distracting to see the ribbons of his headband just constantly flapping in the wind like there's just a fan strapped in front of his face. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yumai Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. Yeah, well, let's survive the trial first, then we'll talk about food. Especially since the case in question is all about a restaurant. I think you might want to stay away from that restaurant for the foreseeable future. November 22nd, 12:09 p.m. Supreme Court Adjudicature Courtroom number 2. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. I almost said it wrong that time, but I'm working on it. I'm still getting used to the correct pronunciation. Ryunosuke. Professor Auchi, have you managed to subpoena the witness?
Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds.
I mean, I know. Issuing a subpoena must be quite the daunting task for you.
And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government.
Sorry.
Let the government scrutinize. That's their job. It's nothing to worry about.
It's highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down in our nation, founders?
Wait, I think they might have said flounders. Let me... No, okay, it was founders, okay.
Again, terribly sorry.
If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. Yep, I would stand by that. If really just in life, if you have a friendship or relationship with someone else that can be broken from the smallest of things, then it was never a real relationship to begin with. I learned that very recently. Oh, anyway, you really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke.
What do you mean?
Secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England?
Shut up, you jumped up rookie boy.
Is that what that jumped up rookie boy? Oh, okay.
You and your friend know nothing.
Except that we knew everything in the last trial, but okay, whatever you say.
Nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in.
Yeah, well, at the moment, I'm kind of concerned with just proving an innocent man innocent of the crime he didn't commit. That's my current concern at the moment, regardless of what path that may lead us down.
By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical.
I forgot how much it pains my throat to do Winston Payne's voice. It's actually kind of painful. But, you know, we'll be fine. Gumshoe's voice wrecked my throat way more than this guy ever could, so I think
I think I'll live it. It's been a while since I've had to do such a gruff voice like that, so we'll be fine.
Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures.
I won't deny that I'm no expert, I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too, but standing here now on our Supreme Court, there is one thing I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all.
Well said, Ryunosuke, despite the wide-eyed look of terror.
You little brats!
Thank you, Consul. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system, and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, the trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brett.
Yes. Your Excellency.
Oh, someone having a bad day.
Mary Poppins has joined the party.
Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land.
Tea! Someone bring English tea. In England, no discussions take place without tea.
Is that true?
No idea.
Can we possibly trouble you to say your name and occupation?
Are we gonna have a Dahlia Hawthorne situation here where everyone just fumbles over themselves over the witness?
Of course.
Oh, is she not gonna speak? Oh, I guess he's reintroducing himself.
My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at Le Carnival, but my
Yes, we know all about you already.
Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first.
Is that true?
No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. I swear to God if you try to make me do perceive again.
Oh yes, I think I did, didn't I?
Yet your description for this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but our powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking.
Guilty.
So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please.
Oh dear. Come again? I don't speak that language either.
I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but what? I think you just spoke in scribble language.
Okay, what now? Okay, can someone please speak something? Anything? Can we stop talking in scribbles? It looks like a 2-year-old trying to write down the word apple. Is what I just saw right there. It was just a mangled mess of chalk lines.
The lady says her name is Giselle Brett.
Well, we knew that already. She comes from London, England. We knew that already too.
She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in Yuma University's medical faculty.
Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dulcet tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song.
As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough.
Yes, I agree. Haha, you'll obviously fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it?
Nor you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. Yeah, the court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called the Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? Oh, great. Oh, great.
Now we get to play the telephone game for every single sentence.
Oh, what fun. Oh, dear God almighty. I get the irony, because they're, like, in universe, they're supposed to be speaking English, and the characters at the bench are supposed to be speaking Japanese. I get that it's, like... I get that. But because of the way the localization has to work, it has to be, like, the reverse kind of thing. So, they're speaking scribble language, we have no idea. So, we're just kind of... We're hoping that the waiter doesn't maliciously misrepresent what she's actually saying, which I'm sure is going to happen at some point.
This could take some time.
Yes, you don't say. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese? Oh, dear God. This is gonna... Oh, great. We get to play the telephone game for the whole time. Oh, what fun. Oh, I can't wait. This won't be pain at all.
She'd like to apologize for participating from the scene. She says that she was due to... she says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. When you are the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau.
Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were, so unfortunately, present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of the wicked perpetrator, perhaps?
Oh my god, this is going to be... This is like pulling teeth. Apparently, it was a very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Oh joy. I can't wait to see how wrong you are. Alright. Order! Order in court!
Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement.
It's based on literal... Okay. Yeah, she said a thing, therefore she's correct. Yeah, how about we compare it against the evidence and see how well... Let's have her actually conduct a testimony, preferably without the telephone game, and then we'll see how that testimony stacks up against the evidence. Then come back to me about being conclusive. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Pain? I say Pain. I say we declare that Pain is our enemy. Unfortunately, I will have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Preferably without the telephone game. But, you know, this is fine. It's fine. Okay. A frightening and sorrowful sight. Oh no. Oh god. We're actually... Oh, okay. I'm just gonna skip through this the first time, and then I'll read what it says afterwards. I'm not sitting to the telephone game for the whole time. That's not happening. Okay. So now that we've gotten through that... Oh dear. Oh, what did I do? No, I didn't have any kind of argument with... Okay, hold on. Let's read what it said. Let's go back up to the top. Let's skip all the telephone game stuff. Okay. I had arranged to meet for a slightly late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. That's true. The person was unable to eat. Also, choose to order for myself only a beef steak. Okay, I'm guessing... If we've learned anything from Ace Attorney in the past, it's that you gotta get them up on the little details that they don't expect you. It's like, I think we learned this with Adrian Andrews and Justice for All. Someone who's very, very competent and very, very ordered and structured, you gotta disrupt their pacing by focusing on the little details they don't expect you to catch them up on. And that's usually when that leads to bigger inconsistencies. So, I'm gonna try to press that statement. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor, so they got into a fierce argument. Because, like, she would probably expect you to press that, right? Because, like, that's the big part. But if you try to get them on the little details, like, in terms about conveniently enough with the T-bone steak, that'll probably lead to something. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprits. Okay. We'll see how that goes.
Quiet, you filthy wretch. Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard, and look at this snow-white angel. I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine whose words the court is going to believe.
Preferably the one who has evidence to back up their claims, of which currently is neither of us. So let me just cross-examine the witness, and we'll see if we can dig up any contradictions in evidence, and then we'll see how things shake out. Ah! You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. That's a lesson you need to learn. Ah, but he's so annoying! Yeah, welcome to the club. Well, welcome to the We Hate Pain Club. Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. I would think she could hide a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to.
Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden a weapon can be shown, this is moot.
There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter. Ah, that's ridiculous. If only I was allowed to lift up... Maybe don't do that, buddy. Maybe do literally anything other than that. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. Yeah, I don't know why the hell that's the first place your mind went. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that, which means the lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. I see that little evil smirk there.
The defense may now cross-examine the witness.
Oh, yes, Your Excellency.
Alright, here we go. So, do I have to make my way through the telephone game stuff too, or can I just progress through the normal statements? Okay, thankfully, okay. That's good, alright. So first things first, I'm gonna press that. I wanted to try to get her to slip up on the small details, especially because they have to go through the telephone game.
He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he just had a tooth removed at a Hada clinic, correct?
That's right.
You're supposed to actually check with the witness before answering.
Was Miss Brett aware of that fact?
It seems so, yes. She'd heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying events. Exactly as it was left?
Dear me, what a harrowing experience to have traveled to a distant island on the far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight.
So the victim, Dr. Wilson, doesn't eat or drink at all.
That's right, other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted the lunch with it.
What now? They toasted. What? Okay, no, that's not okay. So you may not know how you may not know how toasts work, but you kind of need more than one glass of water to do that because you each have to clink your glasses together. But unless I'm mistaken, there's only one glass in this picture here. Methinks something's amiss.
They each raised a glass of carbonated water.
What do you think, Ryunosuke? It's very meaningful.
That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, that has a profound bearing on this case.
Well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing,
It's the fact that she just lied about toasting. Unless one of the glasses disappeared into thin air. That she just lied about that. Significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony.
Well sidestepped, counsel.
Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony.
Gladly, she said. That was brilliant, Kazuma. I'm going to remember that one.
Which one?
The significance will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase.
Yeah, add it to your little pocketbook of catchphrases for future cases. I hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. Well, I mean, you know, we're kind of veterans of this at this point, but for Ryunosuke, yeah, you might want to take some notes so that you can pass them on to your descendant for when 2001 rolls around. Because doesn't it take? I think the first Ace Attorney game does. Oh wait, no. The first game takes place in 2016. But the DL6 doesn't take place in 2001. Right, yes, because DL6 is in 2001, and 15 years go by, and that's when... Okay, yeah, so it takes place in 2016. Right, never mind. So when 2016 rolls around, you might want to keep on to those notes. You can pass them on to your descendants. Anyway, there's a contradiction here waiting to be pointed out. So, I keep wanting to say take that an objection, but there's no... He's still not sure of himself yet, so we don't get the proper objection sound effect.
Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, it's odd, very odd.
Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself. Ugh.
Ryunosuke, what is it about the print that looks odd to you?
Well, obviously it's the cheers. The cheers? Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1.
Ah! You're quite right, Counsel. There's only 1 glass there.
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over minutia?
Ah, yes. Oh, right. I forgot. Nitpicking nowadays means calling out small details that have have a major impact on everything. I forgot that's what nitpicking means nowadays. For Christ's sake.
What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make on the case?
It literally unravels everything. Minutia, you say? Because her whole premise is that she did a toast with them, but like, because that's the thing. The reason why it's a big deal is because something so small there'd be no reason to lie about, so there obviously must be a bigger reason why she had to lie, about it. In fact, and you know what I bet what it's gonna be is it's gonna be like, foolish fool. The reason why it's not in the photo is because I took the glass home with me and I put it in my purse. To which then I can say, ah, so you had a purse with you, did you? Well, now it looks like we have a place where you could have hidden the gun, now don't we? So why don't you let us decide what are and aren't important details to the case there, Payne? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try to tell me you can clink with only 1? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Oh, is she finally gonna speak now? In a language we can actually understand? Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brett who took the glass from the table. Was it now? And where exactly did she put this glass, if I may ask? It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I'd been there at all. She's saying, good gracious! Okay, but where'd you hide it? Where'd you hide it? That's all I care about is where you hid it. Also, that is I didn't point it out until now, but that is a comically large hat, Jesus Christ. Oh, she speaks!
Sorry.
Like, look at that hat, Jesus Christ.
There, as I assured the court before, this is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. We must remember that this student has just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who could blame him for concealing a glass or 2 in her state of disarray? That's absurd! Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief? What?
Okay, we're definitely doing a Dolly Hathaway thing right here.
No. This can't be put down to mischief.
I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene.
It would seem that she slipped it into a small handbag. Oh, did she now?
Looks like you've made a mistake. You've made a very terrible error, friend. Oh, you made such a terrible error. Because now, magically, there wasn't one before, but now there is a place we could have hidden a gun. Oopsie! A handbag, you say?
Yes, Your Excellency. A small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do women in England. So the beautiful lady has very graciously explained how and why she moved the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case.
Oh my god, how stupid are you?
This student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning.
Oh my god, he's so many people in the real world.
You're trying to use your stupid, pesky logic to try to confuse me.
It's like, I'm sorry if logic confuses you, my friend, but that's not my fault.
But in the end, it comes to nothing.
Imagine trying to paint logic as a bad thing.
No more pretentious accusations. You've wasted enough time already.
Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she had removed this glass. I think henceforth we can consider the matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? No.
Well, I don't know, really.
If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance.
Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. If there's a deeper significance there, it's
the handbag.
Wait, the lady put the glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit, and nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun.
You're right! Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that, too.
What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard?
It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up the gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. The true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't seriously be suggesting... Inspector Hasanaga. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? No, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor,
Could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No.
Ah, now we gotcha. I mean, we already had the fact pinned down that Payne was a moron who didn't know what he was talking about. But now, we suddenly have more reason to suspect that maybe Ryunosuke wasn't the only suspicious person on the scene that day. Order! Order! Order!
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at the time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence.
Oh, his bungling incompetence. Okay, buddy. Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? The coughing is really disturbing to watch. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly you have no faith in the police. Can you blame me? As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting, simply because it was unnecessary and, okay, this should be good. Why was it unnecessary? Do tell. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I had completely forgotten about. This photographic print. What about it? This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Okay, so yes, it shows the handbag, which, by the way, that is a very exposed handbag in terms of the fact you can see through it constantly. But also, I can also see there's something on his wrist. I doubt that looks too neatly shaped for it to be a swab of blood. See, like, obviously the main draw here is the fact that there's a mark on his wrist. Because it's too deliberately shown for it to not have any impact on anything. The problem is that it doesn't look like it's a blood spot. Because it's too deliberately shaped. Like, it doesn't... I doubt it's a birthmark, because that's a cheap explanation for what this could be. It looks kind of... It's like an... Like, let me turn my head upside down. It looks like an upside down cow. Like, it looks like you find it as a logo on a steakhouse or something like... Wait! Oh! Wait! Wait! There was a thing! Right there! Right there! Oh, we have a magnifying glass. Okay, can I... Oh, neat. Yup. Right there. Right there. I didn't draw any attention to it whatsoever, but I remembered it. I remembered it looking exactly like that. The little symbol on the corner of the plate the steak was on. Yup, that's exactly what it is. Okay. Okay. So, that's why there's a mark on there. Why is there a mark on there? That's where I'm confused. What, like, obviously that's what this is, but why would it be? Oh wait. Oh, I guess okay, but it's probably it's probably an iron plate, right? Because that's what I don't. So fun fact about me, I hate steak. I don't order steak. I tried it I tried it once when I was a kid and I almost choked to death. So I'm gonna say no thanks. You can hear more about that the story of that in my Pokemon Sword LP with I forgot 45. Basically, I hate steak. I've ate it once and I scratched the hell out of my throat and I don't want to ever eat it again. So I don't order steak at restaurants. But my dad is a steak aficionado, and I do remember these exact types of plates. I think they're called iron plates that get brought out, and they're piping hot, like steaming hot. So it's probably a burn mark, right? Like he would have placed his hand on the thing, and that would have led to a burn. However, now the problem with that is that if he burned his wrist, how the hell did he not scream out with pain the instant that his hand would have touched the plate? Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting indeed. Well, I never. You can see through what's inside, so that either means. Well, no, because my thought process would be like maybe it was all staged, like he didn't actually die from the gunshot, but that would mean he had to intentionally place his hand on the thing, and I think there's like human instincts, like the natural human instinct if you get burned with something is to instinctively retract away from the thing that you get burned by. Which, by the way, what you should do if ever you accidentally touch something that's piping hot, you should touch something else immediately, because that transfers it transfers the heat molecules to something else. Anyway, that's beside the point. But my point is, the only theory I have right now is that maybe it was all staged, but in reverse, not Yeah, actually, no, that's exactly what it is. That's gotta be what it is. It's gotta be that it's my initial thought was it was staged in one direction and that he was pretending to be, like, he placed his hand down to get burned, and then he died by something else that wasn't the gunshot afterwards, and it was all fake. But that doesn't make any sense, because if that were the case, then I genuinely don't think human instincts would allow him to not instinctively yank his hand backwards, if that were the case. So what probably happened instead is he died beforehand. Like, he died long, long before this thing at the restaurant ever happened in the first place. And then that would lead to, so then whatever happened there that happened there, I don't have any evidence to prove what happened there. But he was already dead. Because I'm trying to think back to the last episode of what he actually said in the restaurant. Because he said he went over to talk to him. But did he actually say he had a conversation with him? I'm trying to think, like, if there was a time window between which he could have been killed between meeting Ryunosuke and dying, quote unquote, or if he was dead long before, like, if he ever actually said if he talked to him. I don't know. That's my working theory right now, because that's the only way I can explain this burn mark, because there's no way he wouldn't have screamed out loud, if he set his hand down on the iron plate, but before he died and didn't scream out. That doesn't make any sense at all, so there's gotta be something going on there. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. Ah! As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for the helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Ah! Oh, dear God. Oh, he just got yeeted halfway across the room. Okay. Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Yes, please submit the evidence that helps me prove there's something hinky's going on here. Certainly, Your Excellency. Photograph of the handbag has been entered in the court record. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance, that's where you're wrong, buddy. That's where you're wrong, buddy.
Indeed. That's the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of the crime.
No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I'm in a worse situation than I was at the start. Kazuma? I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. Now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force us to continue. What? You mean this is it? No, this is never. The end is never the end. There's always a way to turn things around.
I must say you put up quite a fight for a rookie student, but the weak are meat, while the strong eat. You were wasting your time. There is no way to defeat true justice.
Oh, and I'm assuming the true justice would be you in this situation? Oh, that's a funny joke.
A fact you can chew on to your heart's content, from the inside of your cell.
This can't be happening! Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma! His dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers! Kazuma! What? Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around? You heard the judge. There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. No, there is though! The burn mark! The burn mark blows a hole wide open, because there's no goddamn way he would have placed his hand could have accidentally touched the mark on the because that's the thing. He would have had to hold it there. No way just touching that would leave the imprint. You would have to hold your hand down for a long time to make that burn mark and have it be perfectly imprinted the way that it was. So, like, if you accidentally touch it with your wrist or whatever, you would instantly pull back. And that one touch alone wouldn't be enough to leave the mark, which means he would have had to be dead beforehand. He would have had to been already dead, and that someone would have had to have staged this. I don't know why you would have had to stage this whole thing, but there's got to be a reason. So I think we're on something. I think this is going to be our key to success here, which means there's no basis on which we can argue for the trial to continue. Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling.
It seems we will be able to report to the British government on time after all.
That smug little. Ryunosuke now. Oh. Wait! Your Excellency! Ryunosuke? I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems that the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol in the courtroom.
Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As this photograph print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now, that means if there was a problem with this evidence, some significant detail I mean, the ruling on the case at a time like this would be out of the question.
This is blatant straw clutching. Look at this photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question,
And the burn mark on the guy's hand. You'd better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag.
Ha! My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes because
It's not on the handbag, it's not on the handbag, it's in the wrist. Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right, if I could put my finger on it. Very well. I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
What?
But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see the significant details to which you have alluded. Well, that would be right. You identify. Yep, that's gonna be. Please don't miss. It's gotta be. I gotta make sure it's perfect. I don't want to be one pixel off and get screwed over. I hope that's good enough. And okay, we got an autosave. We're going for it. Let's hope that's accurate enough. Look at this here. There's a very unusual mark in the victim's wrist. That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description. Oh, well, we noticed it. She didn't want us to notice that, but we noticed it.
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist? Clearly that has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
It doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. That's the thing, though. It creates a much larger hole someone else. Yes, that is a burn mark. You're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to his cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report. Really? You didn't see any contradictions there?
Why did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea why the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
Yes, we do. We absolutely do. The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. However, as Prosecutor Algie points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown. Oh, okay. All I need to do is connect it to the case? Well, in that case, I can do that with ease. I just gotta show the iron plate. Oh, great. We're talking in scratch language again. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with... Oh, do you now? Oh, what a convenient time for you to try to scurry away. Well, that's not gonna happen, friend. That's not gonna happen. Just stick around for 5 more seconds, and then we'll see. And then we'll see how things... if the tables turn at all between then and now.
Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
What's your thinking on this, Ryunosuke? Do you believe this burn does have something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure, but if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hope that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right. I am? If we can just link that burn to this case, if we can do that, we might be able to prise the shutting door back open again.
Just give up, counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed. I'm afraid that without evidence, I can't allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence... evidence that irrefutably linked the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then you would allow it? I would, yes. Well, great news for us in that case, because we have exactly that. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn, but as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between that burn and the case. I already found it. This is the moment of truth. It's time to find some evidence that proves what that burn really means. So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial, that would be this photograph. Yes! What's this, counsel? Yet another print? Yes, Your Excellency. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore.
Do hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable.
Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
You can't fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean.
With pleasure. What's in the photograph explains the reason for the victim's burn. That would be this mark right here. Please make sure it's accurate.
The beefsteak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate on the steak that was served on.
The plate? Ah!
Your Excellency, are you alright?
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of La Carnival.
Ah!
Yeah, this emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape.
Ryunosuke, you genius!
You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant.
But not while he was alive, because there's no goddamn way he could have done it while he was alive.
But even if that is the case, we can't know if it happened the day in question or not. It could have been the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time.
Well,
Sadly, Prosecutor Ouchie, the chances of that are incredibly slim.
thanks.
Why?
The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga?
I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, certainly.
But I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, that it wasn't suffered very long ago. Although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense has just pointed out.
There was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector?
Well, let's see. If the plate was around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said. Exactly what I said. It can't happen instantly. You have to hold your hand there, and there's no way, even if you had the mental fortitude to push past the pain and hold your wrist on top of that burning iron plate, there's no goddamn way you could have been able to hold it there without screaming out loud at the top of your lungs. There's just no way. I refuse to believe that. So he has to have been either unconscious. No, even if he was unconscious, that would have woken him up. He had to have been dead. He had to have been dead long before this ever happened in the first place. It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't have let out a scream of pain then. I've been investigating the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of La Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter.
That doesn't mean anything. In fact, that might actually make his testimony more viable, because it means he'd be more perceptive. So he'd be on the lookout. There's no, actually wait, no, scratch that. I don't care how perceptive you are. You're not gonna forget someone screaming in your restaurant. What the hell am I even talking about? Like, wait, did I miss something? Did I read that again? Okay. As head waiter, I can testify that, but your counter was, no, but you're a detective, not a waiter, and you think that's supposed to help prove that he might have missed a scream? There you have it. Something isn't right there. As the detective said, anyone who burned themselves on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds would have screamed in pain. There's no question of that.
And yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that date or any before it.
That's right, and the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either.
What are you suggesting?
Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day,
That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel.
then the rest of us at the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie?
I do, well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream? Because he was already dead.
I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think...
Can it really be true? I never dreamt we'd arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already dead. Hadn't noticed the burn, come on. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. Apart from in one particular situation.
Counsel, are you suggesting?
Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead.
Already?
Dead?
We got you now. We're on to you.
Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. Yeah, there's the slam. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already, dead.
That's madness.
Order! Please, counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right. That's absolutely right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous ploy by the rookie student, but clearly has no grasp of the facts.
No, Prosecutor Ouchie, it's you who has no grasp of the facts.
I beg your pardon?
As soon as it became apparent the victim hadn't suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet?
Ah!
Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it's true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible! I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But Your Excellency.
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubt must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
Don't do the telephone game again, please.
What was that smile?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours. Ah, Miss Brett, you speak Japanese?
Yeah, that's what just happened.
Well, of course I do. I'm studying in your country after all.
But then, why have you been speaking English up until this point?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vulgar tones.
Okay. Vulgar tones, huh? Yikes. I wouldn't be... Maybe don't... No, that's not... No. Brett. Okay. Didn't expect someone to be... On the list of things I expected to hear today, decrying an entire culture's language as vulgar tones. Not on the list of things I expected to hear from terrible people today, but here we are, and here's Brett, and she's terrible, so great.
But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen, so I can see that I shall...
Okay, so you're just like racist all around then.
So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to... Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah, so you're just like a shitty person. Like, you know, like you're just like actually garbage, okay. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level.
Oh, well, you are the...
That's not how you respond to that statement, ouchie, pain in my ass.
We are truly honored by this.
Oh my Jesus Christ, I didn't want to open the court record, sorry. I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So, we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Yes, they are. Witness testimony. The victim's death, in quotation marks.
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please, do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques oh my Jesus Christ, you're just wow, you're just like actual human garbage then. Oh my god, okay. Oh, wow, you're climbing the ranks in terms of hated characters here, Miss Brett. That most captivating and beautiful testimony. How are you really? You're all okay with this? Everybody's okay with this? Did I miss something? Easy does it. I hope that this is the last time I'll have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your... Oh my Jesus Christ. What the hell? Not all. How... You all are very accepting of this straight up racism here. What the... Okay.
And it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's burn is utterly irrelevant.
I'll be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today. And are you going to say the same things to him that you said to us? Because I guarantee you that's not going to go well for you at all.
The Minister of Justice?
May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Oh my god. Huh? Thanks? Was that a prayer then? Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with a cross-examination now. I will have no shame whatsoever in tearing your testimony to shreds after what you just said. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? Okay then? Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. Okay, I guess that was certainly one animation reaction to have, but okay. Alright. Final cross-examination of the day. The victim's death. Alright, first things first. You got problems. You got major problems. Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found at a crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
Quite right. The carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident.
Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may... Okay, so it's the same thing as, That's what I was kind of worried about, is the, because like I said, the thing with Professor Layton vs. Phoenix Wright's, group testimony thing, is that it's like, every time one of the witnesses reacted, it was always the unambiguously optimal strategy to question them when they reacted. There was no player choice of like, oh, two different people reacted, which one should I pursue, or should I question you at all, or should I just keep moving on with the testimony? It was always like very binary, very one note, very linear in that sense. I'm hoping that, because obviously we're doing the same thing here that we did in the crossover, I'm hoping that this game will be different in that it'll be a little bit more dynamic, but I guess we'll have to, wait and see. But clearly we have to go question him now, because that's what, he just reacted to what we said.
A killer blow. The lady's as formidable as she is beautiful.
Amazing! He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Algie is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. Let me guess. Oh, wait, do I have to... What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected. She's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony, or the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. I almost said a clink in her armor. Kazuma! What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her. Inspector Halsonaga. The detective? Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe. Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time instead of targeting the woman herself. Let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. I wonder what Kazuma's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose. Yeah, I had a feeling this might be where we were going. Okay, well, we will, press it with statement 5, I think. Yeah, the last one, so we'll just press this again. And then, wait for him to react to something. Eventually, right here, okay. Can I move over to him? How do I move over to him? Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been in the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the Englishwoman has to say. This quiz could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful to not let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down.
You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts.
If it's time to pursue the man and his train of thought.
Sorry? Pursue?
I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker.
What marker?
At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett. Okay, yeah, we know how this works. We know how this works. I got it. Okay, great. Yep, I got it. Don't worry. I play the crossover, unfortunately, so I know what to do. Okay, so we'll move over to... I said move over to... Can I not? Okay, yeah, move over to him. There we go. And we shall, pursue...
Excuse me.
Okay, that's one way to go about doing things. Excuse me. Probably the least professional objection or interjection dialogue bubble we've seen in the series so far.
I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply.
It looks like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had to say.
If there's something you'd like to say, please, share it with the court.
What is the meaning of this? It's a delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you can't find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately.
Oh, is that how it works?
Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness.
Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case.
Inspector Hosonaga, do you have something to add? Come on, say it. Do something.
Well, yes, if you don't mind, I would like to speak.
Then by all means, go ahead. Nah, nice try. No. You don't got to say anything, Miss Brett. No. This is his time to shine. You're going down, buddy.
The lady is right. Our country's police practices are not as modern as those used in Great Britain, which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I would have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. Okay, that's cool. I don't care. Just tell me what you stole. Tell me what piece of vital evidence that's going to change the whole case that you stole. A crime scene thief?
Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there.
Take this for example. Is that...
This is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says.
Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it.
Alright, let me guess. It's gonna be revealed that there's poison in the water bottle. Because she said, like, show me a way that he could have died without a trace. Okay, is that gonna be what it is? Like, he was killed by poison, between the time when he arrived at the table and the time that he actually died, and thus killing him before the okay, that's probably what happened. Okay. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. That's the thing. I'm still trying to remember if he actually said that he spoke to John Wilson or not, or if he just went to the table. Because if he didn't speak to him at all and he just went to the table, that completely changes everything. Because that means he could have died long beforehand. But even if that isn't the case, the poison carbonated water bottle will be enough to seal the deal. So I'm thinking that might be what's going on here. I can't say I condone the witness's actions, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. Can we... Oh wait, I have to manually examine it, right? Okay, hold on, let me see. I doubt we can conduct any poison tests. But, I mean, I doubt we can manually conduct a poison test on this liquid.
So this carbonated water was the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had.
It looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now.
You know, I've been sweating so much, I'm absolutely parched. I'll just have a sip of this.
Oh, and then he's gonna be like, no, don't do it. No, Ryunosuke, you can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence.
Oh, no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we?
You never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke, in more ways than one.
I wonder, could there be anything in this water?
What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden.
I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility.
Okay. But that didn't update anything. Okay, maybe I didn't need to do that. Miss Brett, Can you confirm that this is indeed the bottle from which you drank on the day of the victim's death?
Yes, it was that bottle. What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question.
Because she knows it's poisonous. Very well. Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. Oh, we got you now. You want a possibility? You want a possibility for how he could have died without a trace? Well, then allow me to kindly present to you this bottle of carbonated/poisonous water.
Yes!
What is this? The bottle of water?
Actually, there is one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison.
Poison?
On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass?
Order! Order! Order!
And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who possibly could have done it. Giselle Britt! It was you!
Objection! This is outrageous to suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you even considered the situation in our country?
I don't care right now. Right now, I care about proving that I'm innocent of a crime that you're accusing me of. That's the primary concern right now. I like how the implication is just,
what are you saying? Well, what are you doing, you fool? Accept your guilt, even if you're innocent, or else the government will die or something. I don't know.
yeah, I get it. The friendship with the British Empire. I get it. You've said it before.
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime.
Wah!
Did you not know that? The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. Unlike her, who's like, oh, I need to lower myself down and talk with you people. It's like, yeah, you're just... Giselle Britt's just racist of highest caliber, apparently.
Gah!
Ahem, if I may.
I will silence you forever for this disgraceful attack on the lovely— Oh!
And suddenly, her true identity has been revealed.
It is you who should be silent. Of course. Dear lady.
Oh my god, you're such a doormat.
Where did that come from? She just snapped. I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before.
Let me say that I'm so sorry that I ever compared you to Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins does not deserve the slander of being compared to you.
I offer my most humble apologies.
I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring?
I described your police force as inferior, but no matter how inferior they may be. You still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not.
Are you expecting him to... That sounds like a, hey, I'm innocent, right, buddy old pal? You wouldn't betray me, right? Would you? Would you? That sounds like a please bail me out situation here, not something he actually believes in.
You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents.
And? What did you find, Inspector?
I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in this country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency.
What? Are you sure?
The tests were meticulously carried out by the Chief Coroner himself. No! No! I'm very grateful to all you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
I wouldn't say complete innocence in any capacity there, buddy. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, counsel. As the prosecution has asserted, the shot to the chest was the cause of death. Furthermore, the accused who, by his own admission, was holding this weapon is the only possible culprit.
I'm done for.
The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett.
Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved.
Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel for the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point? I don't, but I don't,
Kazuma?
I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more. Yeah, I'm out of ideas. I mean, I have theories as to what could have happened, in terms of, like, mixing it up with, because you tested the bottle, but you didn't test the glass itself. That's the wrong picture. You didn't test the glass itself, and he wouldn't have drank from the bottle, he would have drank from the glass. The glass itself could have had poison in it, not the bottle. So, I do have theories as to what could have happened, but I can't prove any of it, so I don't... I really must be leaving. Who? Oh, Kamatrusa. Nice to meet you.
Please, wait.
Isn't that... What is the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Susato Mikotaba, judicial assistant to the defense.
Mikutaba?
In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning, and in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in a furoshiki cloth.
Oh? Another to be continued? That's unusual. Huh. So I guess there's more. Honestly, I thought for sure this would be the end. I thought for sure that, because usually, and by usually I mean always, the first case of any of these games is either 1 or 2 parts long. But 3? Okay. This case is a bit longer than I thought it was gonna be, honestly, but it's definitely, there's a lot more to it than I thought there was gonna be. It's definitely an elaborate first case. I'm liking it so far. I'm just, maybe just that I'm just so happy to be back in the world of Ace Attorney, where things make sense and the gameplay isn't trying to get you to commit the big die and piss you off to no end. But I don't know, man. This case is really good so far. I'm really excited to see how this concludes, and to get to know more about Kamatrusi over there, whose name is not that, but you know, we'll see what happens in the future. Anyway, that'll be it for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for next time to catch you all tomorrow for some more of the Great Ace Attorney adventures. Goodbye.